How we doing, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of the Richie Hicks Jr. Sports Podcast. On this Friday morning, we're going to be speaking about the very harsh comments that Kwame Brown threw at LeBron James. I'm going to give you my MLB picks for the weekend, essentially covering two series that I am very interested in. And in the Eastern Conference NBA Finals, the Boston Celtics have won again. My question to Heat fans and to NBA fans and to the viewers, do the Miami Heat have a reason to be worried? Going to start right there. Yes, indeed, I do think the Heat should be worried. The toughest game to win in the 7-game format is the fourth one, to send a team home. Boston Celtics dug themselves a 3-0 hole. That has now been reduced to only being down one game. The series is currently 3-2. I think the Miami Heat have to absolutely win Game 6 in Miami. If this series goes 7, I think Boston basically is going to win the series, and it'll be the first time in my lifetime that a team came back from 0-3 to storm all the way back and win the series. The only other time in my recollection of being an NBA fan that it's happened in my lifetime, you would have to go back to the 1994 season when the Denver Nuggets came back from 0-3 to lose a Game 7 to the Utah Jazz. That was the same Nuggets team that knocked out number 1 seeded Seattle, the team that had Detlef Schrempf, Sean Kemp, and Gary Payton. When I think about this series and when I think about what has changed, I believe that really what has changed in the series is Boston's tenacity on defense. They're getting around the basket more. They're just being more physical. And it's always a combination of things. Some of the things that were working for the Heat for the first 3 games isn't working right now. And I do believe that that is part of the issue. I got the Heat winning Game 6, but similar to the series against the Knicks, I do believe that it's going to be a very close game. It's going to be a hard-fought game, and it's not going to be a cakewalk to close it out. But I do think the Heat hold serve at home. My MLB picks for the weekend, there are 2 particular series that I have my eyes on. Number 1 is the Texas Rangers heading to Baltimore for a 3-game set with the second-place Orioles. Rangers are riding high in the driver's seat in the AL West right now. A little bit of surprise. I did expect that they were going to get better. I didn't know if they were going to be this good this quickly. I've got the Texas Rangers taking 2 out of 3 from the Baltimore Orioles. Orioles did leave the Bronx managing to win 2 out of 3 against my New York Yankees. But I do believe that there were some kinks in the armor in terms of the bullpen for the Orioles. And I do believe that the bullpen did show a couple of kinks that need to be figured. As a Yankee fan, I'm not overly upset that Baltimore did take 2 out of 3, mainly because I believe that the Yankees were playing a dangerous game in Game 2 of pushing out some of their middle-tier relievers, guys that you don't want in pressure situations. But the Yankees have had a bullpen that's been burned out, and I think it's the type of situation where the Yankees just basically had to do what they had to do to eat innings and hope that it worked out. It didn't. Aaron Boone got ejected yesterday. He was very upset with the strike zone. Ultimately, not worried. It's a tough series loss to a good Baltimore team. Yankees are 3-3 on the year with the Orioles. Moving it along to the Yankees' current series, they're going to be hosting the San Diego Padres. And I kind of view the Padres as a mixed bag. I had them winning the National League for our MLB preview. And in terms of talent on the roster, there's no questioning what they could bring. But I do believe that the San Diego Padres have been a bit of an underachievement, and they're just too inconsistent. I like the Yankees to take 2 out of 3 in that series. I believe that the Yankees are right where they need to be right now. And I don't think the Padres are as good right now as they're going to be when the year concludes. That's part of the reason of my motivation for liking the Yankees this week. We got the All-Star game coming up in just a little over a month, and this is where you're going to start seeing some teams in Major League Baseball separate themselves from others. The American League is ferociously competitive. Toronto's in last right now. I don't expect that to last all that long. I think if there is a pretender in the American League East, it would probably be the Boston Red Sox. But I do believe that it's a 3-team race, possibly a 4-team race, to ultimately win that division. It is very competitive. Before I get out of there, I wanted to hit on some comments Kwame Brown made in the direction of LeBron James. Kwame was super critical of LeBron's ability to take over a game. He's talking about game 4 against the Nuggets, where LeBron took, let's just say, a low percentage shot. While I agree with Kwame's take, considering the kind of career that Kwame Brown had, I believe that it's the worst source to tell anyone about LeBron James when he himself, in the eyes of many, was a draft bust. It's been well documented that he had a lot of issues with Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan kind of crushed his confidence early on in his career as a young player. And I guess what I'm getting at is, even if it's moderately true, I think Shannon Sharp said it best. What have you done in your career to warrant your critique of one of the greatest basketball players of all time? Because whether you like him or not, LeBron James, in my opinion, is a top 10 all-time player. He did compare him to Kobe and Jordan and what Kobe and Jordan would have done versus what LeBron did. But to me, it's all moot. Like, if a guy like Michael Jordan wanted to voice his opinions, or if a guy like Kareem Abdul-Jabbar wanted to voice their opinions on what LeBron should or shouldn't have done in those scenarios, well, then I believe it would have just had more merit. It would have had more value because it's coming from a bigger source, a source that has the respect level to make comments like that. I guess what I'm trying to say is Kwame just looks like a hater in the situation, and I really don't care for what he did. I think it's immature. I think it's a low blow. And when you have Skip Bayless defending LeBron James, it's almost like an altered universe. That is essentially all I have to speak on today. This was a topic that I ran into on a video, and I said, I got to speak on this. And one thing I want to say moving forward, the regurgitation of the GOAT debate between LeBron James and Michael Jordan has truly I'm tired of hearing about it. I think as NBA fans, we need to do a better job of just appreciating the greatness of different eras and the greatness of different players. I have made it clear on many a show who I think the GOAT is, and other people have different opinions. And I think all opinions are valuable in their own way. But instead of always trying to break down other players and insult other players, things of that nature, I think we should just reasonably grade them and say, you know what? They all have a great place in the history of the game. And when you talk about Kobe, Jabbar, Jordan, Bird, LeBron, etc., there's not necessarily a reason why we always have to tear one down to make another one look good. They all have phenomenal resumes and they've all made their mark. Until next time, I am your host, Richie. Just needed to shake some of that off of what I thought. Kwame Brown, shut up, please. Have a great weekend, everybody.